So it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I figure every month or two we do another Speed Duel Market Watch, and what better time to do one than the day before the Speed Duel Battle City box releases. By the way, little known fact, this is the first time I've gone into TCG's homepage and had it not be an MTG ad. Like, you get them on each individual. There's Commander Legends, there's Genesis Impact, there's Shining Fates, but like, I've never once had it where you go to the homepage and it's not MTG. But the first time I see a Yu-Gi-Oh ad, it's actually for Speed Duel, so that's pretty cool. But we're gonna go through each pack. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, 3 or more. Alright, we're gonna go through each pack and we're gonna basically go through and, just talk about the stuff that's like up and down. That's the point of my Market Watch. Speed Duel markets don't really change too much, but I'm gonna start things off with King of the Skull Servants here, which has a lot of 101s and then it quickly jumps to like 12 plus. I'm not sure really where Skull Servants sit after the Speed Duel box drops, but it definitely has some interesting takes, including one that I'm going to be uploading very soon as well. So this is a good, interesting card. Maybe if you don't have it yet, just pick up a playset, because the only alternative in the Speed Duel world to that super rare from that pack is the ultra rare from Speed Duel Tournament Pack 2, which I don't think anyone wants to jump on right now. So yeah, Sphere Karibo, it's always a relevant card to talk about, but it's got a reprint. So the Ultra is sitting around $5. I would say if you don't have a playset of foils and you want to like foil out your deck, especially with the secret rares from this Battle City box, pick up a playset of this. Magician of Faith going on to set 2, $7 to $8. Not a huge change with this card, but like, it has been going up. GOAT players obviously are huge on the foil version of it. Blade Knight. Warrior Toolbox is probably one of the best decks going into this new format. So you definitely want to have a copy or two of Blade Knight, and obviously the market is starting to jump on that. It kind of makes sense as to why it's going up. Dust Tornado. Dust Tornado is not really seeing too much play anymore, but if you were to pick up foil variants, maybe pick them up at the 3s. If it's more than that, I'd wait. Going in, oh no, I'm sorry, Sonic Bird. The only reason I wanted to touch on Sonic Bird is simply because $2 to $3 for ultra rare Sonic Birds. Not that Sonic Bird sees a whole lot of play anymore. We have pre-prep and we have skills that make this card kind of null and void, but also, it's still a decent option if you want to play Relinquished a different way. Ultra rares, $2 to $3. Pick them up now. Going into the third set, Dekoichi's still sitting around $10 to $12. There are very few of these on the market, as you can see. Still a relevant card in my opinion. I do think we're going to be playing Dark Moth a bit differently going forward, so maybe it won't see as much play, but obviously the price point indicates that it still will. So definitely, if you don't have this yet, I'd recommend picking it up before they kind of sell off the market here. Night Beam, more of a tech than anything else now. We have Cosmic Cyclone, so this is just going to be on the back burner for Spawn Trap Hate. But it's still a pretty good card, especially if you're playing an aggro deck and you want to go off really fast. $6 to $7 seems decent. Book of Life, Zombie, again, Zombie supports. I'm not really sure where Zombies sit after this format, but Book of Life's still sitting at its $5 to $6 price point, so I don't know. It's decent. Mask of Darkness. I touched on Faith, so I felt like I had to touch on this one. $5. This was 10, so it has gone down. Obviously, it's not nearly as good as Magician of Faith, but still a card nonetheless. Parasite Paranoid going into set 4. Set 4, by the way, is so much more expensive than the rest. Parasite Paranoid's not dropping. It's 18 to 20 still. This will probably remain for a while. Moth, while it probably isn't the best deck anymore, is still definitely in the top 5, if not top 3 best decks in the game. So you'll see your fair share of this card for sure. And since it didn't get a reprint, if this does end up seeing a lot more play in tournaments, you might want to pick them up before it goes up. It's still a hell of a deck to deal with. It's definitely not going anywhere unless this card gets a reprint anytime soon. The only time I could see this getting a reprint now is if we get another tournament pack for Speed Duels, which until like tournaments come back in mass supply, I'm not really sure we'll be getting that. So, Dawn Zaloog is a card I wanted to touch on. The second now most expensive card out of Trials of the Kingdom, $15 plus. Definitely a really good tech in Warrior Toolbox now, since you can rota it out. $15. I'm super shocked. It's a one of at most, unless there's a Dark Scorpion deck that I just don't know about on the horizon. But other than that, like, this is huge. Like, and now I understand this set in general is just more expensive than the rest, but still, like, it's surprising to me how much just that card by itself is. Like, if you go through boxes of this, like, you have this one guy at 40 and then 45 and then the rest are 50 plus to get a box of Trials of the Kingdom. So is it tough to get this card, especially being an ultra rare? Sure. But I'm just surprised it's $15 or more for a one of. If you have extra on Zaloog, sell them now. That's the free cash right there. Floodgate Trap Hole. So this card would be good if, once again, we didn't have a skill that facilitated summoning a boss monster from your extra deck, or from your deck in general. Cocoon made it so that you couldn't Floodgate the Moth coming out of the skill, and Union Combination does the same thing with XYZ fusions if you summon him through the skill that way. So once again, Floodgate kind of sits on the back burner of not being super relevant. Otherwise, I think this card would see a lot more play, based solely on the fact that when the monster is summoned, it flips it face down. The problem with XYZs is that any spell and trap card that you have that has to wait, that you can't just chain off the bat to deal with their monsters, technically aren't really that great right now. Because of the Night Assailant loop, XYZ can just pop everything on the board. So you want something that's either chainable to XYZ's effect, or something that stops it on the summon, and that's what Floodgate would be for if they weren't summoning it through the skill, but majority of the time they are. Therefore, this card's kind of just not the greatest answer. Lost Wind overshadows it in the side deck, but like, I would normally main this if Union Combination didn't exist, but because it does, like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird to say where this card lies for the format going forward. I do think this is still really good and underrated, and people kind of forget about it a lot just because it never saw play last format. So a lot of people forget it exists. I sure did. But for 12, I mean, it was a card that was $20, closer to $20. Now being around like 14, 15. It's not the greatest price point for a card in Speed Duels. Obviously, compared to regular Yu-Gi-Oh, this is nothing. I don't know. This is something that, like, it might be worth picking it up. I just don't want to, like, steer people the wrong way on it. Again, could have a potential tournament pack reprint to make it easier to get. So, I don't know. This, once again, just getting killed by relevant skills is unfortunate. This card would see so much more play if it just wasn't for Cocoon or now Union Combination. So Haunted Shrine, I still don't understand why this card is 7+. Like, I get the card, I get that it's good in a zombie deck. Again, there's no zombie deck like taking the world by storm, but I don't know why this is so much money. I just think, once again, it's part of Trials of the Kingdom, and that's why it holds its value. Magician of Black Chaos, same thing. I don't know who's playing this. It's like almost 7. It's 7+. Like, I don't. Why is this? This is more iconic, I guess. Legendary Fisherman 2. This was huge. I mean, it's finally dropping out. Guys, we didn't get a legendary Ocean, so this card can't see its height to superiority yet, unfortunately. I really wish it did, because even if we did get a legendary Ocean, I don't know if Water would be top tier, but it would definitely be in the conversation as a relevant tier 1.5 or tier 2 deck, and it's not even close because we don't have its one glorious card. Oh man, this card would be so good with that. I would have understood its jump in price had we just gotten that field spell, but unfortunately we're not there, so yeah, that's where we're at. Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, it's the only skill that, like, superiorly gives beyond $3. It's more like 4 to 5. Again, obviously you need it if you're playing Moth, but it obviously is only a one of, so... Fusion Party, I wanted to touch on this. So this was one of the sneak peek cards for Trials of the Kingdom when there was a sneak peek for that set. Fusion Party was a $5... It was more before, but now it's kind of bottomed out at $5. Interesting thing, so these 4 sneak peek skills got reprinted in the Battle City box, but Fusion Party is the only one that has polymerization as its artwork for the sneak peek version, and has not polymerization for its Battle City reprint. Christine is the character. And before you say, well, is it the same with, like, Ritual Ceremony? No, Ritual Ceremony has this Emma character, for the Battle City version. So It's interesting that Fusion Party replaced its polymerization artwork. I don't really know what the point to that is, but yeah, this is the first Speed Duel card technically to have a second artwork. So maybe over time, the one with polymerization's artwork will go up just solely as to... It's not mass released in this Battle City box. You can only get this artwork from the sneak peek version, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. But also, anyone that's thinking about picking up like the Trials of the Kingdom versions of this, please don't. Like, this was like 20 plus for a longest time. Battle City box, it's pre-ordering for $3, and you know it'll go down from there because it's guaranteed, so... Anytime you want any of these ones, just pick up the cheap ones, unless, of course, you're picking this up solely for its artwork. As far as the starter decks go, the only relevant price in Destiny Masters is Recruiter, and it is staggeringly 4+. There are very few in the market, so 4 before it's 6. If you don't have Recruiters, I guess pick this up. Gravekeepers has always had deck lingering on the outside looking in. Always a relevant deck, can play all the spell and traps that the format is currently using as its meta-relevant text. So if you don't have your Recruiters, I'd say pick it up. This is literally the only Speed Duel version of this card that you can play. Going into Duelists of Tomorrow, we have Red Eyes at $3 to $4, and we have Blue Eyes at $1 to $2. But keep in mind, the secret rare variants of these cards come in the Battle City box, as well as reprints of them as commons as well, so nothing to fret over. No longer will these be the versions to pick up if you're not picking up the super expensive ones. Windstorm, $2. The only time I really see this now played is Pac-Man, so if you're playing Pac-Man or you want to have this just in case you're playing Pac-Man, then I guess pick this card up. But $2, $1 to $2, super cheap, super easy. Only card that's ever been relevant out of Ultimate Predators in terms of value is Heatwave, and that is sitting at about $2. Allure of Darkness, card is super, super relevant. And I don't see why it won't ever always be. It is that card. $3 to $4. Twisted Nightmares is the deck, you know, that has all the good reprints. Zoma the Spirit, while this card definitely probably fell out of favor a bit because XYZ could just pop it while it's on the board, card is still $1 to $2. Definitely a relevant option if you're playing it in almost anything else. Nightmare Wheel. This card fell out of favor in a lot of decks, but still a decent tech. $1.50. Lava Golem. You'll probably still see this more than a lot of people give it credit for. It's definitely a decent tech still, even with the burn skill that everyone's probably going to side now to stop burn. This is just a good kaiju option in general that does something extra. And this card's $1, so I'd pick that up for sure if you don't have it. Offerings to the Doomed, still a decent tech, definitely got knocked down a peg because of Book of Moon and now Widespread Ruin, but still a quick playable, destroy a monster on the field is always decent, even though you do skip your draw phase. 75 cents to $1.50. This guy's actually got a decent amount, super special awesome. I'd pick these up if you don't have the card already. Going into the other deck, Match of the Millennium, DD Crow, which still hasn't seen a whole lot of play thus far. We'll probably see more play now. $3 minimum and up from there. Really good tech, especially against the right deck. This card can be big in key situations. Advanced Ritual Art still hasn't seen play yet massively, but $3 foil. Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight. Definitely seeing less of this. Because it's not a level 4 lower warrior, so if you're playing warriors, you're probably not going to play this as much as you would have, but still a good card nonetheless, and it starts out at $1.50, so if you don't have that, I'd recommend picking it up just in case. The reprint Sphere Karibo, $2, solid $2. That's the one you pick up if you don't get the foil. Senjus are $1 plus, mostly $2 actually, out of this deck. Still a really good card. But let's turn to Speed Duel tournament packs. Blue Eyes White Dragon kicking it off here at $3.73. I'm gonna knock this guy just because he has 0 feedback. He could be brand new, but let's just go for the average. $3.73 plus. Can you believe this? This is kind of nuts. Kind of insane. I've got nothing beyond how ridiculous this is. Dark Magician. All right, these make a little bit more sense. This one guy's sitting at 100 before it goes to 130. Red Eyes, 78. $89. Yeah. Alright, I just want to make sure everyone knows. You want foil versions of this that aren't insanely expensive. Battle City box, guys. I can direct you no further than the Battle City box. Right now, these are still pre-orders. The set drops tomorrow, and then officially everywhere on Friday. But, you know, you're looking at 18 right now. I'm sure this will drop. This one and Red Eyes, I believe, are like 8 and 9. Yeah, so like they'll settle for sure. But if you want foil versions of these cards that say Speed Duel on them that you can play, I would definitely recommend the Secrets over the Ultras, solely because do you really want to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars versus like the beautiful $10 to $20 that you'll be dropping on these? Just throwing that out there. Alright, for the cards that aren't reprinted in that though, Relinquish, Ultra Rare, surprisingly, only $65. This has been low for this card. It's been closer to 100 for the longest time, so very impressed that it's only that much. I don't know. Relinquish to me still that sleeper deck that, you know, is always, again, on the outside looking in, but it just got pre-preparation of rights, which is insane. So, if you don't have foils, and you want foils, and you're willing to shell out the cash for them, might I recommend picking it up right now. Also, if you don't care about language, and you don't mind these are French, Chow Productions has a good quantity of them for 35 versus the normal 65, so definitely worth picking up. Chow Productions in general, I've seen have a lot of cheaper versions of Speed Duel cards. Harpy Ladies Sisters. Chow Productions coming in at $30 before it's 60 plus. In my opinion, this card is still absolute ass, but hey, you could summon it with Elegant Egotist, and it's the, only foil version of this card that's not like... It's the highest rarity for sure. Yeah, it's had a super rare in Metal Raiders. Now it's got an ultra rare in this. So, yeah, I mean, hey. Gravekeeper's Oracle. This still blows my mind. Why is this the cheapest ultra rare from that pack? $25? If you want a French one, you can get it for $13? Does that not seem insane to you guys? Like, this card is still more playable than Harpy Lady's Sisters. It blows my mind that this card is not... I guess because there's not a waifu on it? Is that the reason? I don't know. This is nuts to me. Dark Magician Girl, the super rare from this set, still climbing. $12 minimum. It goes up from there. If you want foreign ones, they're a little bit cheaper. Chow Productions coming in with French ones at $4. 92 available, so you know these are sitting here for a while. Yeah, if you don't care about language, definitely recommend picking up your playset from Chow Productions for French ones. And then the only other super rare that's actually holding value right now to this first tournament pack is Elegant Egotist at a solid $3. This is the card that if a Harpy Lady is on the field, you special summon a Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters from your hand or deck. We did get Cyber Harpy Lady in the Battle City box, so I can see why this is up in price. So if you don't have yours now, I recommend picking them up. But if you have some extras, I'd recommend dumping them. It's an extra little bit of cash, considering this card was, I think, 50 cents before. And then rounding out the order, Tournament Pack 2, like I said before, King of the Skull Servants is only one Brave Seller at 150 plus. It's kind of nuts for that card. Fortress Whale is the second most expensive at 65. I still have no idea why. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, this was down to $30, and I think it's because everyone thought Moth was finally going to be dead, but no! The deck is still super relevant, so the card is now 60 to 75 once again. Still relevant card, for sure. Barrel Dragon, $30. I'm actually surprised this isn't cheaper. This card probably won't see play anymore in machine decks just because we have Blowback Dragon and better other machines in general. Amazon is Swordswoman, 35 to 40. Still a relevant card, I think, for sure. Obviously won't see as much play because Burn won't see as much play, but still very good card in general. Your foils are that high. And then rounding out the ultra rare, Serpentite Dragon has actually been on the rise lately. It's starting at 45 and goes up. This deck did get Foolish Burial and Silent Doom, which is a new cute way to bring out Serpentite super quickly. So I would assume that's the reason this has gone up. But other than that, it is still the flakiest deck in all of Speed Duels. And finally, the only super rare that exceeds more than $1. Summoner's Art actually recently went down below $1. It's still basically $1, but Maneater Bug, $1.50 quickly goes up to about $3.50. This I don't know, couldn't tell you why. flip target monster on the field, destroy it. We have Night Assailant now, so unless you specifically need Earth Insects, I don't see why this would be more expensive than normal. And lastly, guys, I just wanted to touch, we are on the eve of the Battle City box. Don't pay attention to most of these prices. These will all drop accordingly. You are guaranteed the gods, for example, and they, for some reason, are also sitting at 10 bucks each. These will all drop. Everything will drop. I can't wait for this format. I hope you can't wait either. This is definitely going to be the biggest shakeup we've had to the meta ever, with 220 cards in this box. For the people that don't know about this thing, you get 200 commons, 20 skills, 8 of 24 secret rares, and 4 2-player deluxe game mats. This box is amazing. Everything in it is guaranteed. Everything is a one-of, so if you want a playset of everything, you pick up 3 of these boxes and you have everything at your disposal from the new set. The only thing you wouldn't have guaranteed is the secret rares. 8 of 24 per box. 3 of them are the guaranteed god cards. The other 5 are from a group of 21 remaining secrets that you can get, which also just come common in the box normally, but it's a way to get foiled out versions of said cards. And guys, that's it for this Market Watch. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. As always, click that notification bell. I can't wait, guys. This is gonna be something special for sure. And hey, if this is a big hit as it's predicted to be, hopefully they'll keep doing this in the future. Alright, I'm out.